Hello, brothers and sisters.
Good morning. This is
We're,
quite an auspicious day here in St. Louis.
we're speaking to you from the headquarters.
hmm It was an auspicious day for the nation. Kamala Harris made her running mate vice president
Yeah, it
decision.
seems like a big deal,
Big
But
deal.
the
And
big deals
also
are yet to
today's
come.
primary in St. Louis and
Oh yeah,
Missouri, and it's an important election,
right.
especially the first congressional district.
Yes,
We'll
indeed.
know the answer by the end of the day. So, um, it feels like some days have more weight than others, and
Likewise,
when
some
that
years and some
some years,
months.
right? It's almost like there's a portal. There's a portal that you can enter, that you can be aware of, you can be watchful, you can be mindful of. One of the things that um, the introduction to our text that we've been using, in addition to using Jim's newest book, Vigil, we've been using Mesilat Yesharim to do these. There's 91 days left until the presidential election in our countdown of 100 days. Um, but we've also been using this Path of the Just, a wonderful
It's not the
treatise on,
Shireen.
yeah, how to become a more pious person, what you
Yeah.
have to do, what traits you have to hone,
And it begins with learning.
and it always begins with learning. So let's learn a little. Let's learn.
Good
Do some
idea.
learning. Yeah. Those who possess a quick mental grasp and keen intellect and concentrate all their study and thought upon subtleties of the universe, they will add to the peace of the universe. So let's add to the peace.
I can't sing so well yet,
No.
but we're about to. The beginning of Deuteronomy in the summer is always significant. It's always important. I know.
This week is the beginning of
Yeah,
Deuteronomy.
so I have some pieces I want to read that are really necessary.
Okay.
And for in my next compendium, this is called Deuteronomy Blesses Us. I have a series of them. The books bless us. Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak. What's going on here? Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak, and may the earth hear the words of my mouth. Listen, O earth, to these wounds. We have been pounded on the peaks, elevated and alone. Who ascends these holy mountains, and why? We have bled all over our backpacks. Descended at the penultimate moment. Snatched away from the precipice, we descended into the valley where we sat quietly, eyes closed, waiting for a bus. Nothing loftier, and we would have remained there until teachings fell like rain. The words descended like dew, spring showers on fresh grass, and a storm of wisdom on tender green. A storm of wisdom on tender green. Listen to these wounds, O earth. Pay attention to the bleeding sky. Brother elements, Sister flesh, remember the days of old. Okay, sister. I got one thing I'd like to bring from the text that I thought was beautiful when we were talking about Zahiru, attentiveness.
Attentiveness and watchfulness, right?
Where,
That's the first,
yeah,
kind of the first step.
that our friend Lutzato
Yeah,
Ramchal,
requires of us. And you know, actually, it's interesting because it really is true. It's the first step. These are the steps, but the first thing is really this in the introduction. What he says to us, he says, "I'm not going to teach anything new. I'm just going to help you remember what you already know."
yeah, we
Which
know
is so
this
beautiful. We
from
know
Psalm
this,
105, 110, when we
right?
were doing the Psalms
Yeah,
project. We
that's
come
right.
to the end of that sequence.
That's right.
Zichru,
Yeah,
remember.
Zichru, remember. And the other thing about that that's I think so beautiful, we already know this, and because you cannot go forward without a commitment to truth.
That's right.
There's no spin.
And man, we know what that
There's no
feels
room
like
for
in
spin
the
here,
real
right? There
world.
is no room for spin
Yeah.
in this election.
We
in
should all be
this
authorities
border.
on that subject.
Truth, and be willing to go against our own self-interest for the sake of truth.
Sake of truth.
Yeah. So,
You
what
got
did you
that
want to
right.
bring?
Well, I love the way he picks up a verse and a phrase here and there. Lutzato does in Misilat Yesharim. And to make a point, he was dealing with the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, I'm not so interested in the struggle with the evil inclination because you cured me of that. But I do love
Right.
what he brings
Yeah.
in the treasure in his chest, in his resources. I love what he brings in. He'll cite just a phrase which is really important. You could jump over it. He cites a phrase from one of the minor prophets, Haggai, and it stopped me in my tracks when he's talking about what you use, your wisdom that you draw upon.
Yeah.
And he says, "Simu levavachem al darchechem," which means pay attention.
Yeah.
Simu levav, sim lev, pay attention to your ways.
Yeah.
Pay attention to your ways. WAYS.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to what you do, to your ways, how you're walking in the world.
Right.
Be attentive to it. I love that he just grabs this small piece from Haggai, minor prophet. Pay attention to your waves. You could stop there for a while. You could spend the time posted there for a while, sitting on the bench outside of your favorite coffee shop, speaking with Maimonides while he waters his dog.
Today is it's an important day for the universe. We're praying for some sanity in the Middle East. That the fear of retribution and retaliation from Iran.
And we're going to pray for healing.
Yeah, we're going to pray for healing. We need a healing prayer today because today is a very divided day in St. Louis. People who are torn apart by this first congressional district race is just awful. It's really gotten dangerous. Dangerous. It's also the week of the 10th anniversary. Friday will be the 10th anniversary of the killing of Mike Brown Jr. that triggered the Ferguson uprising. It's just a big week all around, and with the complete presidential ticket for the Democrats, it's just a big week. And I think one more thing that I could say that comes up in the introduction to Mesilat Yesharim, he says, "Don't be afraid." But the word for fear, there are two words for fear. One is pachad, I'm afraid. I'm afraid and it freezes me. I'm afraid and it stops me in my tracks. I'm afraid and I can't go far beyond, right? The other is yira, and that's awe. The fear of God, the awe of God. So let's have awe today for believing that we are bigger together. There's healing. Beautiful melody.
El Neeman Yetarofe Uma.
So when you don't know what else to do, offer a healing prayer. Pray for healing.
Vatsiri El Neeman Yetarofe Uma. Heal my hurts, my Suris, heal my hurts. Yet you are an artful healer, artful. Yetarofe Uman, you are an artful healer. You bring healing in places we might not recognize.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. Again, it's a big day in the universe. We pray that it's a gentle day, a loving day, a day of less violence, more peace.
This is called What If.
Okay.
What if we succeeded with the great messes we are making? God is forever. What if God were alone, lonely God? Who will compose poems to the lonely God of hosts? We were hostages once, now again. The song calling back newer beings as if it could. Lift up those bowed over, sacred spirits, beasts of the field. Redeem the souls out of the lost and found. They will sing to you melodies of ascent. Return to the temple, the little sanctuary, the holy of holies, mighty and free, all nations of deeds, all cities of beauty.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thanks for coming and joining us this morning. Better days ahead. That's
Better
what we
days ahead.
believe.
Better
That's
days
why we're
ahead.
doing this.
That's it. 91 days
Bye,
left.
little baby.